Hi, Gerhard Bloom, once again looking at the tyranny and the delusions of the social justice movement. So, is cultural Marxism a myth? No, it's not a myth. It's a reality, and it's a dangerous reality. And yet, I've had more than a few deluded leftists denying the obvious reality of cultural Marxism. I had some stupid Marxist who denies its reality. He doesn't understand that Marxism has moved on dramatically from the writings of Karl Marx. Marx, recall, had argued that the global workers of the world would unite and a proletariat revolution was inevitable. Yes, that was him. This utopian revolution was inevitable. The big capitalist fish would eat the small fish, and in the end, there would be a very small number of incredibly rich, wealthy elite, and everybody else would be utterly destitute, with nothing to lose but their chains, right? But what happened? Well, the poor and the oppressed, instead of this massive revolution to freeing themselves of the chains of poverty and destitution, they went out and they bought new homes. With white picket fences, they bought washing machines and TVs. This actually happened. And Marx is predicting crushing poverties. The lives of the workers improved absolutely dramatically under capitalism, free markets, right? You get to decide what you buy with your dollars. You get to sell your labor or your creation, your products, and you get to sell them and compete with other products on the open market. If your products satisfy an itch that somebody needs to scratch, they buy your product. If it's fairly priced, they buy yours. If somebody else comes along and produces the same quality item at cheaper, then they buy that product. And this leads to competition in the marketplace. That's the way the system is supposed to work. And this is the only system that generates wealth, and it does so dramatically. And it also fosters creativity and innovation. So the workers of the world, they didn't unite. No, they went out and they started earning more money. They had more leisure time. Quality of life improved dramatically. So food security, sanitation, food abundance, longer lives. And these deluded leftists, instead of considering they actually might be wrong, they thought all of these material goods, well, they were simply co-opting you into the oppressive, exploitative system. That's right. You were being oppressed, but you were too stupid to notice. This started with Antonio Gramsci. To finally seize control, these leftists thought you need to conduct, in the words of Rudi Dutschke, following Gramsci, a long march through the institutions. For Gramsci, as with other cultural Marxists, socialism will triumph first by capturing the culture via infiltration of schools, universities, churches, and the media by transforming the consciousness of the culture. And you see these pointy-headed university grads from Ivy League universities. They are the new Red Guard for this particular movement. They are militant ideological bullies, and they don't know anything about reality. They don't know anything about history. You talk to them about Cambodia and Pol Pot, and they're like, the mass deaths under Mao? No, they don't know anything about it, but they know they're oppressed. They know they're oppressed. They don't know about the oppression in North Korea, right? Because that's a socialist utopia. Well, sad to say, this long march has been successful. Every institution of social and cultural importance has been captured, ideologically captured. Cultural Marxists, yes, they still speak the language of oppressor and oppressed. That doesn't go away. And they still want to destroy the foundations of Western civilization so they can create this socialist utopia. Except every previous attempt at constructing a utopian paradise has ended in mass horror, tyranny, death, oppression, except for the elite, right? They live the lifestyle of the rich and famous. Yes, this happens time and again. And then leftists tell you that, that's not really socialism. Thomas Sowell reminds us that there has been no real-world political experiment that has been tried and disastrously failed as many times as socialist utopian dreaming always ends in horror. And now the new wrinkle in this program, so instead of the single category, the bourgeoisie, the ruling elite, and the proletariat, the poor working stiff, they have deliberately manufactured and weaponized these various identity groups, right? Convincing these groups that they are being systemically oppressed. Gay versus straight, white versus people of color, or except Asians, right? Asians are white adjacent. Maybe it's because they're successful and they don't buy into this poisonous ideology. Cis versus trans, right? Rich versus poor, except they don't care all that much for poor white folks. No, it's only poor black folks that they have any time for. And all sorts of time for the crybaby LeBron James and Oprah Winfrey. Yeah, they're oppressed too. Hard to imagine, but yes, yeah, they are oppressed. The police now, agents of oppression, but violent black criminal predators, they're victims of capitalist exploitation, don't you know? And men are now competing against women in women's sports. Violent male predators, they're being sent off to women's prisons. You have non-binary. Non-binary, they're neither male nor female. This is an entirely invented category. It's ridiculous. I could call myself a unicorn. I'm not going to start shitting Skittles. Nonsense. You're male or female. You can pretend to be, a member of the opposite sex, i.e. a trans man or a trans woman, but you can't even pretend to play the game of non-binary. It's nonsensical. And yes, pornographic material in the schools, right? Gay pornographic material. It's awful for kids in grade school. And I spoke previously about a teacher who brought in dildos, butt plugs, and lube, sexual lube, for kids as young as 14 years old. This is queer theory, right? Queer theory. This woke ideology, it's absolutely cancerous, and it's coming to you. Every aspect of your life is being critically interrogated. This means by critically interrogated, it's being evaluated through a Marxist lens. And it's all poisonous nonsense. And how anybody can pretend to believe that a man in a skirt is actually a woman. Trans women are women. This is tribalism, right? These people parroting this nonsense, I have no doubt there's a very small minority of people who actually believe this nonsense. For the rest of them, this is their tribe. They're social justice warriors, so they parrot this nonsense so the tribe doesn't turn on them and they don't get culled from the tribe. The need to belong is a very deep need in human psychology. For hundreds of thousands of years, your membership in the tribe was what kept you alive. You got kicked out of that tribe, it was a death sentence. And these people don't want to risk social death. And they actually do have something to fear, right? We've seen time and again people fired for saying all lives matter when they were supposed to parrot Black Lives Matter. Of course Black Lives Matter. Who would deny that? But saying all lives matter, that will get you fired. You say the man in a skirt, i.e. Dylan Mulvaney, or e.g. Dylan Mulvaney, is a dude, and people will turn on you like a pack of hyenas. He's a dude. Get over it. But I love the fact that people are pushing back. Like I say, the mouse, Mickey Mouse, taking it in the junk. Absolutely great. Target, same thing, notwithstanding their tuck-friendly underwear. And Budweiser, yeah, great. More and more people need to push back and recapture those school boards. The schools are where this started, right? The long march through the institutions started in the schools, reproducing a little army of social justice fascists with every graduation. I do hope you'll check out my book, Deconstructing Social Justice. It's available on Amazon. I promise you, it's important, and not because I wrote it. The issues could not be more important. Thank you so much for your time and attention. Bye-bye.